I got this table and chair set off Facebook Market for free. Let's see if we can turn it into $500. Very first step was cleaning the crap out of this thing. I just used a sponge with soapy water and it worked really well. And I noticed that these cracks were full to the brim with gunk. So I spent like an hour with a knife just scraping that all out. And this table is an Ethan Allen table, which is awesome because these things sell for like $2,000 when they're new. So the next step after cleaning it is going to be stripping the surface of this to bare wood so we can restain it. Let this stuff sit for like 30 minutes before scraping it off. And it ended up working really well because it was super satisfying and it came off really easy. So after stripping off as much as we could with the chemicals, we ended up using an 80 grit sandpaper to get it down to bare wood. And after sanding it completely down with an 80 grit, we ended up working our way all the way up to 240 grit just so it would take the stain well. And look how good it ended up looking once it was bare wood. I kind of regret not just sealing it as it was, but once we stained it, it did turn out really well. We're gonna move on to painting the base and the chairs now. I put this base on an old piece of drywall I found just to help keep it off the grass and everything. And I'm gonna be using this Graco sprayer right here. It's a little bit of overkill, but I couldn't find my hand sprayer, so it'll work. I don't know who painted this the first time, but they obviously didn't prime the bare wood before they painted it because this stuff is just stripping right off with the sandpaper. So I'm gonna get as much off as I can and then prime it with some shellac. Instead of shellac, I ended up using an oil-based primer, which also works super well when it comes to covering bare wood. And then after the primer dried, it was time to spray this thing down. I ended up spraying 3 coats on this thing with a light sand in between each coat just to give it as smooth of a finish as possible. So now let's finish off the tabletop. We applied some pre-stain before staining it, and I tried this gray color and I hated it so much I just completely scratched the idea of using it. I mean, it really looked terrible. So we ended up using a dark walnut color, which is a pretty classic stain color to go with, and it always turns out nice. And it ended up turning out super nice. So the last step is just to seal the top of this table and then set it all back up, stage it, and post it on Facebook Market. I've now tried to use this product 2 separate times for a top coat on this table. And as you can see, every time it just drips straight out of the can. And I have to wait 2 days between coats to sand it down and refinish it. So I'm giving up on this stuff and I'm gonna go just with a regular polyurethane. To get those drips out, I ended up needing to use my orbital sander with a 400 grit sandpaper. And once I sanded that and wiped it down, it actually got all the drips out, which I was really happy about. So the final step at this point is putting 2 coats of polyurethane on the top of this table, and this really just pulls everything together. It makes it look so nice. Let me know what you guys think, but I think that this tabletop turned out absolutely beautiful. So here's the before, and this thing was beat up super bad. The chairs were actually unfinishable. And look how beautiful this thing looks now. I'm gonna go ahead and list this on Facebook Market for $475. My wife helped me stage it properly, and I hope this sells within a day.